What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
I'm excited to help you write your Indeed job posting today.
Indeed,
where you can find NBA champions in search of work. It's episode 259 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. We got a couple of sweeps. We got a Frenchman throwing elbows and an unemployed host. So, it's B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That, of course, is seven-time NBA champion Robert Horry, who's looking for work. Who's looking for work at the moment. Lakers season ends in less than glorious fashion last night. Swept by the Thunder. Thunder, by the way, 8-0 in the playoffs so far. So they are doing exactly what I think we all thought they were gonna do, and just running people over. And you know, we were talked about it early on. We even had Scoop B on trying to figure out if there was any way to avoid a sweep in this one, and there just wasn't. There just wasn't. I mean, they were just overpowered. It was the Thunder are too deep. Not enough weapons for LA. It just so many things just went sideways with this one. But that's how it ends. Were you working for this one or no?
Yeah, I actually had to go to the studio and watch it. And the bad part about it was they was giving you so much hope, and then the Thunder be like, "Oh shit, you just scored? Well, let me go down and score two in a row. Oh, you scored? Let me go down and score 1-2." It was just. And it wasn't the fact that the Lakers played bad. It's just they got beat by a way better team. That's all it was.
It's really the basic boiling point there.
You don't have a lot of margin for error with OKC, and where the Lakers almost really had to play perfect all series long, and you can't expect that from them, especially when you have guys missing, and then you just getting Austin Reaves really back and getting him in the groove of things. I never gave the Lakers a shot. You know, there's a difference between somebody not believing in their team and then just realizing the reality of what comes along with your squad and who they're playing. Like the Thunder, it's a well-oiled machine, and they've been a well-oiled machine for a couple of seasons now, and they're in their groove. The Lakers they were the 4 seed, and were good. They were good to get to the 4 seed, and the matchups just didn't. You know, you get past the first round, but the matchup just didn't land in your favor, getting OKC in the second round. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, the Lakers have a bad habit of like, oh, we're going to win and get to this one. Like, in this case, you know, they need to win one more game, so they've been in the 3 spot. But, you know, it didn't work out that way because Minnesota, the way they playing.
I was going to say.
You never know. You know, but
Minnesota, dangerous.
Yeah, so... You know, you think about Denver was a nemesis. Now you got this young team called OKC is a nemesis. Like, damn, we just can't find someone that's going to give us a break.
Yeah.
You never do in the postseason. You should know that. You played enough of these to know anybody that you're going to get everybody's best shot all the time, especially if you're the LA Lakers.
I think I've only been on. I think when I was with the Rockets, you know, the team that just owned us was Seattle Supersonics. When I got to the Lakers, there's really no team that really owned us because we had Shaq and Kobe.
Well, I was saying, you guys owned everybody in that stretch. There was that run. It was like 98, 99 through 04 was just like unstoppable.
You had that year where Portland was right there, and then all of a sudden they tried and they disbanded. And you had that one year where, you know,
Sacramento
they disbanded.
Yeah.
And then when I got to San Antonio, our nemesis was Dallas. You know, we just was hoping that, okay, they get beat, and we had to play them, and we lost. They went on, you know, lost in the championship to Dwayne Wade and Shaq. But you really, it's just weird how certain teams have their nemesis. And it seemed like the Lakers, these past couple of seasons, everybody has been a nemesis. Like, okay, Denver, okay, Minnesota, okay, OKC. So it's just been hard for them.
No, OKC,
everybody's.
Nah. The Lakers have been OKC's footstool. They have literally, it's like the doormat that they just keep walking in and out, just wiping their feet on the Lakers. The Lakers have not beat them. I can't remember when is the last time they beat them?
Well, let's find out.
Because they didn't beat them this season, did they?
No, they lost by average of 30 this season.
They didn't beat them this season.
Yeah.
I don't know if they beat them last season.
Oh, goodness. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know how far this thing, because I think they're 0-8 in their last 8 meetings or something like that.
April 6th, 2025.
Okay, so last year.
So you're talking April of last year. So more than a year. Yeah, more than a year.
It's just
That's not bad compared to some teams,
Yeah, 126.99 was the last time they beat them a year ago.
Okay.
Year and a month.
But I think since then they're like
Undefeated.
0 and
Yeah,
8.
Goodness, 8 or 9.
Yeah,
something like that.
it ain't good.
No.
It ain't good. The Thunder, what really showcased in this series was their depth. Their depth really, which has been showcased pretty much all season long, but especially when you get into these moments where, Shay may not be taking over the game every single game. You got guys like A.J. Mitchell. You have guys like you got guys like McClain who come off the bench who can spare these guys some minutes, can really go off and catch fire if need be. Yeah. Their depth is going to be a real issue. Now, I know we're moving along in these series. There's only one team out there, if they can win their series, that could really give OKC a run for their money, because they gave them a run for their money during the regular season. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. By the way, for the notes, just so we have them, Thunder become the first defending champions since LeBron and the Cavs did it in 2017 to sweep the first 2 series of the playoffs. Shay scored 9 of his series-high 35 in the fourth quarter to send the Lakers home. And they did all of this without Jalen Williams. Rob, you mentioned it before we started the show. It's going to be – there's a lot of free agency questions right now with the Lakers. Obviously AR is one of the big ones. And I think we talked about that before the season really even started. And then after the year he had and some of the stuff that he was able to do this season, I think that's a big one. Obviously, the elephant in the room continues to be and will always be LeBron James. Where does he stand? I mean, I'll ask you the obvious, stupid question. Do you guys think we saw him play his last game as a Laker?
I was listening to his exit interview, and he mentioned his son in Arizona and how this is really close proximity for him. So that's the only thing that I think that's going to keep him on this side of the world. I ain't saying he's going to the Suns to play with Dylan, but I'm just saying, though, I think he might come back depending on, what they can do in the offseason. And I think the one thing that's not really talked about, Lakers going to have some money. They're going to have some money to make some moves, and they're going to have some money because they got some owners that want to spend some money. So you have to think about what big moves they can make. And the only thing that I can think of is they have to package AR and try to get something for him. And everybody wants to keep AR, but to me, I love AR, but you can't have 2 of the same players on the same team. AR and Luka are pretty much the same players. They can't play defense. They can go at you on the other end, but they're a liability. And for me, you have to try to package him. And you showed that, And let's be honest, Mitchell, every time AR was guarding, I've never seen a dude smile while dribbling the battle like, oh, shit, look at me. Yeah. And he would just went at him. And so for me, that's one of the things you have to look at because, that's good during the season where he can score and do all this stuff that make you look good. But when the playoffs come around, you've got to play just a little bit of defense, And I think that's, if this is me, and, it's just my opinion, and I've been wrong 4 or 5 times, but I think
just 4 or 5. Yeah.
That's what they have to do, man. I love AR, and it's good to have AR because you see with Luka get hurt, you have a replacement. But if you want to get further down, you're going to have to do some kind of drastic move.
Look, so you don't give AR the $250?
Hell no.
Okay.
That's too much money.
Okay. I just want to ask.
No, you can't give him that. You already given. Think about it. Like, does he deserve it? Yes and no. He's put in the work to get it, but I just don't see him, being that max guy because he's, it's what people always look, well, he gave us 30. Hell, he gave us 40. It's like, so he's a minus 10. And people don't look at, well, he gave us 30. No, he gave them 40 though. And that's what you have to look at. And when I say 30, that counts assists, whatever it may be, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I just think you got to have a balance to this. And you go around the league and you look at almost every team, you know, that's like in the left. Let's look at San Antonio. Let's look at San Antonio and OKC. You think about Shaquille O'Neal. Every team built their teams so they could say, okay, when we play Shaquille O'Neal or someone like that, we got to have an enforcer that can at least like try to, you know, waste 6 fouls, beat him up, try to slow him down. You look at OKC. Now your measuring stick is OKC and San Antonio. They got 3-4 guards that can just blow by you. So now you have to build your team to stop those guys because those guys ain't going nowhere because they're young and they're going to be together for a long time. You know, unless you find someone like a Shaq says, okay, we got a counter to that. We got this big dude in the middle. But then he's like, damn, they got 7-5 guys over there that can counteract your big guy in the middle. So what do? You get a guard that can slow them down because their bigs are so small that you can have someone maybe like 6'9", 6'10" that can like force them out where they can't be that dynamic around the rim. So that's my only point, man. You got to look at the teams ahead of you and figure out how to stop them.
It's going to be hard to stop a team like OKC because when you look at how they were built and how they are built, they're built through draft capital. They're built through, you know, Sam Presti and them making the right decisions when it comes to drafting, picking guys that fit their scheme and their culture. And that's the thing. Not every organization understands what their culture is. That's the one thing that I think has to be identified first before you can build a team. What culture are you setting? What are you trying to create? And then you go from there. They never waver from who they are and guys that can fit what they already have established. And I think it's really hard to kind of, I'm not saying that it can't happen because I think San Antonio is creating their own culture and building a team around Wemby, and it's not just Wemby; it's the guards
same
around.
Culture.
Yeah,
Where you
sure.
think Sam Presti came from? It's the same
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. Yes. Uh-huh.
So it's not a coincidence seeing guys who are of some similarity, things going well because this is our culture and we're going to stick to it and we're going to add guys who want to be a part of this and who fit that. We're not going to deviate from it for the sake of trying to be somebody else. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to have everybody else acquiesce to who we're supposed to be. And that's the reason why these two teams that we're talking about right now, one of them is already on to the Western Conference Finals. One of them, if they do what they need to do, they'll be on the verge of being there as well. It's not by coincidence. You have to set a culture. If you don't know what your culture is, you're going to be all over the place just doing any and everything, and you're more than likely to fail.
Yeah. Culture and a little luck.
That too.
And a little luck.
Yeah, a little luck.
Yeah, my favorite tweet of the week was somebody put, and I wish I could give him credit, but I can't because I don't remember who said it, but had look, building a team like OKC is easy. You just have to make smart draft moves and count on the Clippers making the worst trade in franchise history. That's all you got to do. And then you're in good shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you can build a team around it. But yeah, to your point, a little bit of luck. A little bit of luck involved. Your Lakers free agents, by the way, going into this offseason. Obviously, we talked about LeBron unrestricted. We talked about AR. He's got his player option, $14.9 million.
He already opted out that shit.
And you're going to drop that in a heartbeat, like a sack of potatoes, gone. Rui, unrestricted.
I would love to have Rui back.
Jackson Hayes, unrestricted.
He can go.
DeAndre Ayton's got a player option.
He can get the hell on. Did you see the chain? Did you see the video?
Dude, I don't even know why he came out with that shit, man. I was like, come on, D. I've been supporting you all year, but damn.
The damn jokes write themselves.
I tell you. Marcus Smart's got a player option. And Kennard and Kleber are unrestricted free agents.
I would like, and obviously everything is about money. When these guys hit the market, obviously they're going to see what they can get. I would like to bring Rui back. Marcus Smart, I like his toughness defensively. And, be honest, I wouldn't mind bringing Luke Kennard back. Just his ability to shoot the ball we saw throughout the playoffs that we saw ever since he put on that Laker jersey, we saw when he came from Atlanta and he put on that Laker jersey. There are a lot of fans here in Atlanta who was like, well, damn, what the hell was this when he had a Hawks jersey on?
What were you doing in Atlanta, bro? He was eating wings.
So
he didn't fit with all those tall, athletic black guys.
I guess not.
He needed to come with some white guys.
I know how he feels. I'm just saying.
But no, in all seriousness, I think I would not mind if the money's right, try to see if you can bring like those three back in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I understand things move around and that's not always a possibility. But I think those guys made impacts. Rui, at least Rui from mid-range, he got hot. Like Rui is almost automatic from mid-range. And knocking down the three, he got hot down the stretch in game 4. He's one of the reasons why they got back in that game. And I just think he has his moments where he's a really impactful player on the offensive side of the ball. So I really like the way he's played ever since he got into a Laker jersey. So we'll see. But those three guys, I wouldn't mind seeing put back on a Laker jersey again.
Yeah, definitely Rui, because I think Rui finally understood that, hey, I ain't gonna get no plays call, but if I go stand over here, I get some wide ass open shots, and then they give me a couple of plays every day. Certain guys fit, and I think he is one of the guys that will fit with Luka in the sense that Luka doesn't want you cutting. He wants you just to spot up and let me have the ability to, Jackson Hayes, you got to bring him back just for the fact that he's the only guy that Luka won't throw lobs to, and that's what Luka loves. You got to have a lob threat, and those two guys are two guys that, I know is not, you're making your main focus on, but those are some needs that you need because that's what Luka likes, and that's what makes Luka happy.
I would love to have a guy, knowing that Luka really works well with lob threats and guys that roll to the basket, I would love to have a guy like Jared Allen in L.A. to pair with a guy like Luka. I understand this is like our Christmas. Laker fans always had a damn
what
Christmas
the hell kind of scenario are you cooking up
No,
here?
what I'm saying is you just
shipped LeBron and Bronny out with Jared Allen.
But my thing is this, look, here's the thing. I don't know if LeBron wants to be a Laker anymore. I think if he really wants the realistic opportunity to win again, you got so many teams floating out there, but why not end if you're not going to end it in LA, why not end it back home?
Yeah. Hey.
Jared Allen, by the way, is under contract through the 28-29 season.
Yeah, he got a long lucrative contract.
He just got broke off, so he ain't going nowhere.
Well, maybe.
LeBron's going to follow the great number 23. He's going to go to the Washington Wizards and play alongside his buddy AD.
Oof.
They got the number 1 pick of the draft.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Well, we can go do it now if you want. We talk about that.
No, we could go to. We still in the playoffs right now. Let's go to.
We'll touch on the draft. I'm going to get both of your takes on it.
What do you think of the elbow? Want me to go first, B-Hart?
Go ahead.
Go, man.
I'm going to go first. I really, there's a lot of people, they come up with this thing, well, who the person is, his history, that's all bullshit. Because let me just say this, an addict has to start somewhere, right? And you nip it in the bud. And my whole thing is with the whole thing, he should have been suspended for a game.
He should have?
Just one game. He should have.
Okay.
Because number one, he looked and he hit him in the head area. And everybody said, well, he was the first quarter, so it's like a whole game. No. It's different. Now you got to understand. Now, what if Ant-Man next game does the same thing? And now you're going to say, well, Ant-Man hasn't had this history of this stuff. And that's what I hate about guys is when they don't have the history of doing this. So everything starts somewhere. And if you cut it out in the beginning, it doesn't manifest to something else. And think about it. You think about my, we going to stay with San Antonio. My body check of Steve Nash, I got suspended for 2 games. You think about the elbow that Ron Artest did with James Harden. He got suspended for 6 or 7 games. And so people's like, well, it's Wemby. He hasn't done it before. Hell, I hadn't done that before. And I got suspended for 2 games. And so it's not about what's with Wemby. It's about what you tell in the league. Mm-hmm. That if you're a superstar, you can get away with shit. Mm-hmm. And that is not fair. And I know it's, well, he's the face of the league. He's not the face of the league yet. He's going to be one day, but not yet. But you got to say, okay, these are not appropriate things for and I guarantee you, if that was Naz, elbowing Wemby, Naz would be suspended for a game. And to me, it's about being fair. And it's not about, this or that. It's about what's right and what's wrong. And this is, to me, is one of the things that's right. You think about, it's the playoff. Draymond Green. Oh, he has the history? Big damn deal. You suspend him in the finals, and he's a key part of that team, and you did it. And so now, with all this going on, now Shay is going to get to a game where, we losing. All right, let me elbow someone in the face. Oh, hey, you did it to Wemby. I don't have a history. And that's my whole thing. You just can't let something like this happen because it opens up the door for so many other things and so many other people complain. And it has, and I don't want Wemby to be suspended because I love basketball. You want to see all teams whole. But at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong.
No, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. Because you can't set that precedent and then move forward. Then when something else happens, sit up there and talk about, oh, well, we're going to suspend this person. Well, hold on, time out. You didn't do this here, you didn't do this there. It makes a slippery slope. Yeah. However, I want you to be the person that then made it a 2-2 series when he was ejected. In a 2-2 series, going back to San Antonio, I want you, Commissioner Robert Horry, to be the one that suspends Victor Wembanyama for Game 5 at home in San Antonio in a 2-2 series.
Hey, they did it when I checked Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Boris Diaw stepped a foot on the floor, and they were suspended for not even doing anything. They stepped a foot on the floor going back to Phoenix.
Malice,
and they didn't
because of malice.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah. Right is right. It don't matter where we're going. Think about this. This is why Wemby's not the MVP. Because these guys are so good without him sometimes. You think about that. They're so good without him. And so now they can go home and win without him.
Okay.
So that's my whole point. Look at they was up with it. How close was the game in the fourth quarter without him?
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
Yeah. Well, they were up at one point, right?
Yeah, it's a.
I think so.
Ant-Man had to be
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that's my whole point. It doesn't matter where you at. You could be in fucking Iceland, Zimbabwe. It don't matter where you playing the game, man. It's just like if you do something wrong, you get punished for it.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you on your stance at all, one bit. But we know that everything ain't fair because we've seen this before.
We know. Yeah,
when it comes to the NBA and when it comes to its money and when it comes to its viewership, they don't care about what's fair. They will try to circumvent things and come up with any possible excuse, especially when you may not say that Wemby's the face of the league right now, but Wemby is 7'6". It's different if he's a guard or somebody like that. That man is standing very, very tall. And to see, and you walk into that building and realize that this man, this 7'6" alien, who impacts a series so much. Yes, they're really good without him, but they're not winning the title without him. And they have title aspirations. And to realize, hey, this man is suspended for Game 5 in San Antonio. Oh, the league ain't having that. And let's be honest. I love Naz Reid.
Can I be more specific, not to interrupt you? I don't even think the league's having it. I don't think Adam Silver's having it.
Well, that's what I mean by league.
I think he really cares. Adam really cares what people think about him.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed that more and more often, and that he
really, starting to give a shit.
He does not want to take the PR hit to be that guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
But we're on the same page.
Yeah.
We agree that, Rob, you're right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But we've seen the NBA, when they want to justify something that they're doing and try to make it right, they're going to do it. They're going to justify something they did wrong, they're going to do it. And we've seen it time and time again. And when it comes to Wemby, I'm not surprised they didn't suspend him. They're not going to suspend him in this pivotal series. They're just not going to do it. Naz Reid, if it was the other way around, Naz Reid is not as important to his team as Wemby is to his. And we all know that.
That's what you say.
That's what I know.
No, this is what you say because you think about this. Importance to you for that team, yeah, but he's important to that team in that certain type of way. And so you can't say he's not as important. He's important to the success of that thing. You think that's the sixth man of the year.
Okay.
So that's very important to the success of Minnesota.
Let me rephrase it.
Yeah. So
Let me rephrase it. I'm gonna put this on a macro scale. He's not as important to the league.
There you go.
So when it comes down to the league,
Yep.
Yeah. But I get it, and I totally get it, and I understand that, and it gets to a point where it gets laughable, and this is what frustrates the players so much. Yeah, the stars are what make this league, but you know who will make the stars? The guys who's on that team that sacrifice to make those stars.
But you know what else the league has to answer to?
Hold on one second. Bye. Love you too.
You know what else the league has to answer to?
Other thing is,
what's that?
If when you think about the league when it makes money, you go back to game 2 with the Lakers and OKC, how bad those calls were. If everybody knew that without Luka, the Lakers would lose. Why not call it right? And then you got LeBron. People still watch LeBron, but now LeBron's at home. So this is my point. I know it's all about the future. We always say out with the old, in with the new. I get that. We always talk about money. And it's like, well, if you really wanted the money, you'd have called that travel. It could have been a travel. It wasn't a travel. Everybody calls travel on Chet. Mm-hmm. And when he gets the dunk, they go up one. Mm-hmm. You could have called it travel. So there are ways that the league can do things. So if you give it, first of all, we already know the league already got their fucking money. And people forget this. When they sign these deals, they got their money. So it don't matter if this guy play or this guy doesn't play. They got their money. So I don't care when people say, oh, this and that. No, if you really wanted money, you would make these series extend. OKC would have swept 2 guys. So when people say, oh, it's about the money, bullshit. They already got their money. They're going to continue to get their money. That's why they got the contracts. So and that's the part that when people talk about it, like, no, it ain't got nothing to do with fucking money. They already got their money, regardless of whoever plays. That's why they get mad about tanking, because the people come in like, well, I paid my money. Oh, yeah, see, you already paid. We got it, so F you.
Now, there's nothing funnier to me than you thinking the league's going to call it travel. That's hysterical. I haven't seen a travel called in like 13 years.
I know.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw them call a travel.
Rob, it's about optics. The league cares about optics. You may say they already have their money and the ink on the contracts have already dried up, but it is about optics during the highest point of viewership. And when you don't see a 7'6" guy standing in the middle for the San Antonio Spurs back in San Antonio in a pivotal game 5, it is a optics sore to the league.
I mean, good thing this didn't happen back in my era, because you remember when
back in my day. Back in my day.
No, I'm just saying though, like if you were a true teammate, you remember that game 5 where we didn't give a fuck we won or lost. We just punished Danny Ainge. Yeah. Every time he came up a screen. So and this is why I said they should suspend it, because now you built this animosity up with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, oh, you're not gonna suspend this dude for doing that shit? Mm-hmm. Now it can carry over to game 5. That's the one thing I was waiting to talk about. Yeah. And that's what they don't look at, because now, you're going to let him, we don't know who Naz Reid's best buddy is on the team. Right. Now when Wemby come up on the screen, bow, take that with you. Come up, we already talking about, they beat him up. If the motherfucker was so light in the ass, he would fall every time someone hit him.
Hey, guess what?
So now he's really, let's see how many times he fall tonight.
You want to? I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'm not saying this is right at all. Not at all one bit. You're going to see how unfair some things are. You take a shot at Wemby and hit that ground. You're going to see how unfair things really are.
They lost their enforcer. He gone. He up in New York now, so they got no enforcers over there. What are you talking about? What's the crazy dude to think he was Dennis Rodman?
You got Sohan.
Yeah, he gone.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about by the league. You're going to see how unfair.
They can't do anything because they already set the bar. They already said it. Think about it. Elbowed in the net. A little bit lower, he hit here. He's talking like Mitch Kupchak. Think about it. Think about it now.
You're right. Okay.
So now you set the bar where you can just elbow a motherfucker in the head and he didn't get fined.
Well, first of all, can't nobody reach that high.
He didn't
get. Think about what's his name. LaMelo.
No.
LaMelo Ball got fined for grabbing the guy
sweeping his
down in
ankles.
Miami.
Yeah, bam.
Yeah.
And at least find the dude. He didn't do that.
They definitely could have. They could have fined him. I will give you that. They could have
100%.
fined him.
That's an easy.
Yeah.
You easily
could've
find him and save face and say, "Look, we punished him." You know.
Yeah, at least find. They don't, and that's my whole point. They didn't even do that.
Yeah, that's short-sightedness. I get the suspension. I really do, and I get it from all the perspectives you guys talked about. But a fine isn't easy.
There's an old saying.
$25K.
There's a saying, and I think it applies here. Favor ain't fair.
That's true.
And Wemby got a lot of favor.
He does.
Hey, it's that old saying, good to be the king.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not the king yet.
Mel Brooks with the pistol.
He's about to be. So they setting the president now.
Yeah, it's good to be the prince.
Yeah.
Soon to
but
be
you
the
know
king.
what? When as soon as it happened, I said, "Oh, they learn." What do you mean they learn? Remember when they threw Tim out of a game because he was running and didn't look and bumped into the ref?
Yeah.
And the ref said he did it on purpose, so they suspended Tim for a game.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, Tim says, "Fuck y'all! I'm never doing another thing for y'all." So the NBA right now, like, nope, we can't punish the king because he might not love us anymore.
Can't afford it.
We already see what happened with Tim Duncan.
Here was the only thing about the Wembanyama suspension that really bothered, not suspension, but the ejection that bothered me, was what does that mean?
Yeah, he was
that
saying the bitch. He said, "I mean, I'm ejected."
What does that mean? And Harrison Barnes is like, "It means you're out of the game." It was almost like, and I'm not saying this to take a shot at Wembanyama because I think he's amazing. It was almost a little bit of entitlement. Like, they threw me out of a game? They don't throw me out of a game. I'm the guy. You can't throw me out. Like, it was kind of, it came off that way. And I'm sure that's not how it was intended. But you full well, even playing basketball your whole life, you full well know what it means to get ejected from a game. You don't have to turn to your teammates and go, "What does that mean?"
It's like he didn't know what a double tech was.
Right.
Like,
What does that mean? It means I'm out? Oh, okay. I guess I'm out.
Hey, you've been in a few games where that's happened while you looked up like, you're like, bye-bye.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm sure you've waved people off the court before. One of them might have been Draymond Green.
There's a whole sigh of relief that went over the city of San Antonio when they realized that they were not suspending Victor for Game 5.
I'm sure of it. Yeah, I mean, look, if Robert Horry wasn't hated enough in San Antonio, Commissioner Robert Horry would have suspended his ass,
him. Matter of fact, you're suspended the rest of the series.
I'd be like, nah, you get a game and $50,000 too on top of that. Yeah.
That's probably fair for the way it went down.
At least
all right.
a $50,000 fine, you know.
The fine, I think, is easy.
Yeah,
and I'm very surprised I didn't at least do that.
Yeah.
To your point, the Spurs did lead that game by 8 with 9 minutes left. Without Wemby in there.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Edwards just...
Look, Rob is right. We've seen it time and time again. They are a heck of a team without him, and they play well without him. And, kudos to the way that they're built. That goes back to when we were talking about how a team is built and the guys that you have around him. So shout out to San Antonio for building a team around him, even in his absence, knowing, still how to play.
I love the fact that these two teams are getting so damn good and they mirror images of each other. It's going to be great for the league, man.
I agree.
For years to come. If they can keep them together, we already see that OKC is going to be like $125 million over the cap, so they ain't going to be able to keep nobody.
Look, they robbed us. They robbed us of, and I love Ant-Man. Don't get me wrong, Atlanta native, that's my dog. But they robbed us of having a Spurs and Nuggets matchup. We ain't getting that. Don't rob us of not having the Spurs OKC matchup.
I know, right?
I got news for you. Anthony Edwards starting to hit a stride right now.
He is.
He looks healthy. He looks explosive.
My dog playing.
He is playing like the Ant-Man we've been looking for most of the season.
He said he don't care nothing about none of that. I'm here to spoil it all.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna ruin everybody's parade.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ruin everybody's parade. We'll find out tonight. We'll find out. No, they're not playing. Are they playing tonight? Yeah, they are playing tonight.
Tonight.
Okay,
Game
so they got
5
tonight. Yeah, Game 5 tonight. All right, let's swing over to the East because we did have another sweep. Knicks took care of the Sixers in 4. I don't think that was really that much of a surprise.
I thought they might get one.
Maybe. Maybe. But the Sixers took Boston to the ropes, and we all said, I don't know if they've got enough left to take down the Knicks. They won by 30 points on Sunday. 25 three-pointers made the most in NBA playoff history. They did it without OG. It was just, dude, it's been everybody. McBride, 25 points, 7 for 9 from 3 in that game. Brunson at 22. Cat, 17 and 10 assists. The bench scored 51 points in that game. Joel Embiid shot 8 for 8 from the field with 24 points, and they lost by 30.
Hey, when I turned it, I'm like, I thought they were in Philly. I looked at the floor like, they're in Philly. What the? It was all
that place was all Knicks
there.
fans, dude.
I'm like, what the hell, man?
That place was all Knicks. Every news report that was a Philly station out on the streets trying to like report about the Sixers getting eliminated, just Knicks fans swarming the live shots and screaming.
And Philly is a prideful town. They don't play.
No.
And to see the New Yorkers in that city, I'm thank God we haven't heard anything, but I'm surprised there were more fights to break out, because when you talk about New Yorkers and then Philly fans getting together, both of them being pretty prideful, that usually leads to fights.
So here's the difference, though, and I think this is why you didn't see a lot of that. Philly fans, from all of the post-game stuff I saw, were pretty disgusted with the Sixers' performance in this series. I don't think they were proud enough to fight anybody over that. You know what I mean? Like, if you lose in 6 or 7 and it's a fist fight and you're close, like, they were barely in any of these games. Realistically, they really weren't. I mean, even the games that were close, New York just put it away when it mattered the most.
Hey.
Like, they didn't. Every Sixers fan I saw on the news was like, fire Nick Nurse, we got to get better, blow it all up, we're in the process again, this sucks. Like, that was everybody's thing. So we don't know who's going to be here, we don't know if Embiid's going to be here, we have no clue what's happening.
They just, look, as much as it makes me feel better about the Hawks series, because the Hawks at least shook some stuff up a little bit, for a little bit.
Yeah,
you had New Yorkers sitting up there about to jump into Hudson.
Yeah, they were sweating for a hot
Yeah,
second.
they were about to go out in the streets. We had New York media shaking as they were transitioning from New York to coming to Atlanta for a little bit. So everything that I'm seeing, I gotta tip my hat to Atlanta, because it makes me feel a little better now that we got 2 games on a team like this.
Yeah, who's just rolling right now. So they're waiting in the Eastern Conference Finals for the winner of Pistons-Cavs, who after last night are locked up at 2. Mm-hmm. Through 2 quarters on Monday, Donovan Mitchell had just 4 points, his lowest first half in any playoff game.
He went off
with Cleveland, and then he just exploded, 21 points in the third.
Yeah,
as many as the Pistons scored in that entire quarter, and it was part of a 22-0 start to the second half for Cleveland, and then Cleveland just ran away.
Yeah.
So it's just what was the number on Cade though from Game 3 that was wild? I wrote it down because it was crazy. Cade's Game 3 performance made NBA history by becoming the 4th player to score 20-plus points in each of his first 15 career playoff games. The other 3 people on that list, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis.
Now,
That's the list.
He had a season low in this Game 4.
He did.
I think it was, 19?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so that was his season low. The thing about Cleveland is when Donovan...
Chocolates.
Huh?
Box of chocolates.
What you mean?
You never know what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah. When Donovan...
You could put that on James Harden, too. But.
Yeah. When Spider doesn't score like he's supposed to, I don't think that team doesn't really have a shot, because everything really feeds off of him. Obviously, he needs to be the guy to score 25 or more points in order for them to really have a shot, because you can't depend on that from Harden all the time, because a lot of times he's going to turn the ball over. He still dribbles way too damn much. And if Harden dribbles way too much, he's going to turn the ball over. They don't have a lot of options when it comes to scoring, or enough options to be able to sustain Donovan Mitchell maybe having a bad shooting night. Because we've seen when he's had bad shooting nights, they don't have enough firepower to be able to help sustain it. So if they're going to win, it has to be from Donovan scoring 30, which then means that everybody else is being able to do whatever they need to do to help them sustain a win. And that's really kind of how it's been. If he scores anything less than 25, they have a really big chance of losing that game. Pistons same way.
Same thing. You know what I mean? If Cade's on and that thing's rolling, great. They look like the team in the regular season. And it's the same thing, Rob, with the Pistons. Detroit's very much a box of chocolates. Night to night, you're like, okay, who's going to be here? Who's going to show up? Who's going to perform? Who's going to score? Who's not? Who's going to end up on the bench halfway through the first quarter?
So my whole thing, let's give it up to Karis
LeVert
playing very well. I think when he plays well,
he just got back, I think, didn't he?
Yeah. But he's throughout his career, he came in the league. Everybody thought he was going to be that next guy, and it's just been up and down. So I'm a big fan of his. So when he does play well, I'm happy for it. But and I look at guys like Cade Cunningham. It's always easy for him to score. because he has the ball 95% of the time. He's like a Luka. He's like a Shea Gilgeous. But when you get guys like Tobias Harris to step up, everybody's like this always with Tobias, like praying hands, please have a good game. And to me, that's the only guy when I look at the Detroit Pistons. If he steps up and plays well, they're good. But if he doesn't, they ain't got a shot, man, because he's just he's so Dow Jones. He's so up and down to me.
Yeah, it's and both of those teams are. So it's really tough. It might just come down to home court. It really just might. And if that's the case, then Detroit has the upper hand.
It's just the problem I have with this whole thing is not a problem, but the thing that sticks out to me about this whole thing is with two teams that are just completely uncertain all the time, who's going to have what it takes to get after the Knicks when this one is done? Because if you're going to have any shot against New York, you have to have some level of consistency. It's something the Knicks have had throughout this postseason. And it's something that neither of these teams seem to can't find with both hands in a flashlight right now. I mean, they both in the first round series, both of them struggled up and down all over the place. Detroit had to claw back into it, and then this one, we just talked about it. It's the two teams if you don't know what the hell you're going to get from either one of them any given night.
Yeah,
and it could be. I mean, you could have a night where both of them are so poor offensively that we're just like that was garbage, and then you could have a night where they both score 130. And you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just, and you just don't know. You just don't know.
I don't, at this moment, I don't think either team could beat the Knicks.
I don't think so either.
I don't
Not
think
the way they're
one of
playing.
those teams could beat the Knicks.
And Detroit showed, I think, for me during the regular season, what it takes to be the best team in the East. And they're just they have to get back to that level of consistency. But you've said it 100 times, Rob. It doesn't matter what you look like in the regular season. Regular season don't mean a damn thing when the lights are bright. So.
But you know what's really weird is, and there's certain arenas and certain teams, and I know it's a playoff, but I don't know why it just makes you kick it up a notch. And you think about playing the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. It's like playing in LA. You got all the stars sitting there talking shit. It's extra added. So you know, I'm still not a Knick believer yet. I'm still gonna wait because I hate to say this. I sometimes look at that coaching staff and be like,
You've been down on him since he started, and yet he's sitting in the Eastern Conference Finals with his feet up right now. So
hey, he took LeBron to the finals too in 2007. So what's your point?
I could have took LeBron to the finals. What are you talking about?
My point exactly. So
all right.
I'm just saying though, I love seeing Spike Lee. And,
Ben Stiller out there and Timothée Chalamet and his Jenner girlfriend and all that. Yeah, no, they're out there. They're all out there.
Yeah, I'm not putting them in the finals just yet.
Okay,
just yet.
I'm going to go ahead and look forward if that's the case. I think that the most test that New York is going to get is going to be in the finals because I don't know if Detroit or Cleveland is really going to have what it takes to consistently keep them on their heels. Now, I could be dead ass wrong. Detroit could come out and play out of their shoes in that series if they end up advancing. Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell could have like 5 games where he's just a lunatic. Who knows?
Like he had last night.
Right. So it's like, who knows? Or a couple nights before. It's like, who knows what you're going to get? But we'll figure it out. All right, you brought up the draft lottery. Washington won the draft lottery. John Wall was up there on the stage. That was pretty cool. See John Wall go up there and accept the first pick. He was the last time the Washington Wizards got the first pick in 2010. The Wizards were 17-65 this season. Garbage. But they have Trae Young. They have Anthony Davis, and now they have the number 1 pick. BYU forward AJ Dybantsa, however you say his name, looks like he's going to be your top pick according to everybody. But you've got Darren Peterson, Boozer, Caleb Wilson in there, so a lot of options. But it looks like the BYU kid's going to be the one that everybody says they're going to take. Draft is June 23rd and 24th in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Your top 10 as it shakes out is picks in this order. The Wizards at 1, the Jazz at 2, the Grizzlies at 3, the Bulls at 4, the Clippers via the Pacers at 5, the Nets at 6, the Kings at 7, the Hawks get an 8 pick via the Pelicans, the Mavs at 9, and the Bucks at 10. So that's your top 10 in order picking in the draft.
Hey, I hate to how funny was T.J. McConnell when he was sitting there like, They didn't get no lottery pick. It was so funny to me.
Just looking confused.
Like, what the fuck, man? And my bad luck? What the hell's going on? Man, that was the funniest shit ever, man. I hate to say it, but yeah, it was funny to me. Yeah, but I'm excited to see what he's watching. Where's this going to do,
I was going to say,
man.
so, I mean, you had a number 1 pick to Trey on the assumption, be it a bold one, that Anthony Davis is healthy.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of that team, maybe?
That's a good lineup.
I mean, on paper?
We'll see if AD is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
No. We'll see if AD touches the court.
Well, there's that.
He's going to be there. He just got to go to court.
All one and the same. If he ain't on the floor, he ain't there.
Street clothes.
Really?
Street clothes.
They said what somebody had made a tweet talking about if a team lands Anthony Davis, they'll get the number 1 pick. And that's been like that the
last couple times,
yeah,
because it happened with the Mavs, with the move. It happened previously too.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's happened a couple times. You're going to get some. This was the last lottery under the current format. NBA is voting May 28th on a new system that punishes the 3 worst record teams and flattens the odds across the rest. So that's going to kind of shoot down tanking as it stands. So we'll see how the draft looks going forward. A few other notes before we get to Big Shot, and we're going to play this week's game. This week's game is about all-time playoff runs because OKC is definitely on one. Mm-hmm. Rob was part of a team that was an all-time playoff run.
15-1.
Yeah, all-time. So we're gonna do a little bit of high-low on how many wins in a row in the playoffs on some teams. We'll see how you guys do on that. It'll be fun. A couple things we didn't talk about this last week, but it came down this week that Jaylen Brown caught a $50,000 fine. After calling out the refs in the league for having an agenda, for getting on Twitch and calling out Embiid for flopping, which I have some of the Twitch stuff. It's only 13 seconds, but I'll play it for you.
Flopping has ruined our game. Joel Embiid is a great player, one of the best bigs in basketball history. Flops. He know it. This ain't breaking news.
It ain't breaking news. It's not, but he's
It's so true.
He called him out for it though, and the league fined him $50K. Donovan even said it this week. It was in a postgame. Mitchell was like, "I got a friend of mine who calls out the league for flopping." Well, yeah, there you go. He was referencing Jaylen Brown in that. So yeah, you catch a $50K fine. You can elbow somebody in the throat and be fine, but don't you get on Twitch. Don't you get on Twitch and call Joel Embiid a flopper. That's going to cost you $50K. And then after sorry, go ahead.
I know. I was just thinking about last week with Mitchell. The other Mitchell is saying, if you ever the little rabbit or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. That was McDaniel, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, he was for the Hawks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we report on the show. Steve Kerr's gone. And turns out Steve Kerr's not gone.
That's crazy. Yeah,
they're bringing him back. It looks like, despite a rough season, rough patch, Steve Kerr and the Warriors look like they're reportedly close to a 2-year extension. Surprised by this move? I don't really think so. I was kind of surprised they were going to move away from him.
That just means that Steve Kerr came there with some demands. I'm coming back, but you got to get rid of Draymond Green. Yeah. I think that's the only thing, because when you look at Steve Kerr, every time something happened with Draymond, you can just see like a part of his spirit just leave.
Yeah, he ages a little bit. Yeah.
No, Draymond, we're not saying this to say your name and get some ratings. No, we're not saying it. It's just the facts of the matter. Okay. And so
everybody, let's get Robert Horry the attention that he deserves.
No, but the facts are the fact. And I think also, it was sometimes when something happens so fast, them being outed and he has to take a step back and see what's happening. It's going to be really interesting to see what that team does.
It's going to be an interesting team next year.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Very interesting because they got a lot of stuff to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot to figure out, and you're starting to get to the end of Steph's career, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But look, you brought up Draymond, so I want to bring it. I want to play it for you because I was like, it threw me a little bit. Him and Chuck. And the shot he took at Chuck on Inside the NBA, I don't know, man. They were talking about the Warriors, and he kind of fires back here.
Nobody wins when they're 37, 38.
But you said what you said. I didn't want to hear if he believes what you're talking. Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is just to not look like you in the Houston Rockets uniform.
Yeah.
Is ultimately the goal for us. Like, we don't want to.
What does that look like?
Did you see it?
I'm just asking.
I saw it.
So he said, when you're getting old in the league, you just don't want to look like Chuck in a Houston Rockets uniform.
The problem with that dig is
it doesn't hold up.
Chuck wasn't that. I mean, maybe outside of the last 1 or 2 years, but he wasn't that bad in a Rockets uniform. If you look at his numbers, he was not that bad. And I do agree with people when they said this. Look, I'll say this, and I give it back to Rob.
Go ahead, because I want to get Rob's take, but I also have some numbers for you on this. So go ahead.
I'm all for rings and everything like that, but a lot of this ring culture was evident in that conversation. Because I'm going to be honest with you, yes, Draymond has 4, but Draymond has never led a team like Charles led a team. He's never been the superstar that Charles was. Charles is in the Hall of Fame. Draymond may be there one day, but even when it comes to the hierarchy of the Hall of Fame, nobody's putting Draymond on the same level as they putting Chuck. They're not. And I think the ring culture, he thinks because he's sitting in that seat where Shaq sat that he can do what Shaq has done. No, that's Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. That's the most dominant big man in NBA history. Just because you sit in that seat, that don't mean you get to attack Charles. You're a level lower than Charles. Sorry. And if you that's all due respect.
And if you want to be an asshole, get up there and say, when we get old in our career, we don't want to look like Shaquille O'Neal in a Celtics jersey, okay? That's probably a fair
That's
dig.
more of a better assessment.
I don't want to look like Shaq in a Cavs jersey.
In a Cavs jersey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's fair. Before we get your take on this, Rob, Charles Barkley in his 4 seasons with the Houston Rockets, 16.5 points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists. Draymond Green's last 4 seasons, 8.6 points, 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists.
They didn't call him triple single for no reason.
No, and there you go. So it's like, you're taking shots at a guy that basically doubled the performance that you did.
And I like Draymond, but
I
think he overstepped his bounds. It was funny, but he overstepped his boundaries a little bit.
He did a little. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was getting ready for his roasting special.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about the roast on Shoot Around Friday.
Yeah.
I got audio of a lot of people tearing down Draymond. It's pretty damn funny.
I think for me, when you look at that situation, and everybody always like shits on Chuck for not winning the championship, and there was just a bunch of guys that were better than him at the time. A bunch of guys had better teams. But I will say this. All right, let's take Chuck and put him in this era in the platform that Draymond Green had. Chuck would be on a whole nother fucking level. Let's be honest. Because the shit he says, and think about his Instagram. Think about when he threw that motherfucker out a window. You think about how, just shit like that just took him to a whole nother level. And because these guys now had these platforms, it puts them on a level higher than they maybe should be, or whatever it may be. Just think about Chuck, how great he was as a player. Mm-hmm. How when he just had the covers of like Sports Illustrated, like round mound of rebounds.
He's an MVP.
Yeah, eating pizza with Chuck Person, the rifleman. It's like all these things that think about how much pub he got then. Just think about what he would have had if he had the platforms that these guys have now. So on that alone, it's just certain guys, and I get it. Everybody shits on Chuck about his weight. They shits on him about not having the championship. But I just think sometimes, it's one of those situations where you be like, pause. I'm not going to go there. So it's just, and I understand, every athlete, not everybody, a lot of athletes, as soon as they retire, they say, fuck it. I'm not going to stay in shape. If I gain weight, so be it.
It's different if that was Steph Curry sitting in that seat. It's different, maybe even if it was Klay Thompson sitting in that seat, even though, you have that debate about who you feel is on the hierarchy or whatever. And I respect Draymond. Draymond has been very vocal. He has a hell of a platform. He has a hell of a future in this media thing. Really, more of his present than it does in his future. So it's no disrespect. But I do think he sat in that seat where Shaq sits, and I guess he felt the spirit of Shaq and said, well, let me just go ahead and get at you the way Shaq get at you. But you got to realize, dog, there are people who are tired of Shaq doing it. But people will have a better understanding of Shaq doing it because that's Shaq. There are not a lot of...
Also, Shaq and Charles are very good
Very
friends.
Close.
Like, they are very good personal friends.
They're damn near brothers without being blood.
Yes.
So it's different.
Brothers are going to say the worst shit about you ever. because it's your brother and they can get away with it.
Yeah.
And then
my brother would say some shit about me. I would slap the shit out of him.
Right, exactly
but
right.
That's the point.
But you would accept it because you'd be like, well, it's my brother. He's allowed to do that.
I'm only kid, Ken. I'm only kid.
Some outsider comes in and says some shit. All of a sudden, no. You know, everybody gets defensive.
You know, it's part of the same NBA fraternity, and I get it. It's only so many guys that have been there, but I just think.
I think you're right. He got a little big for his britches.
Yeah, and then I think he forgot. That may not have been Charles in Phoenix or Charles in Philadelphia, but that Charles was not that bad when you average a double-double that late in your career.
All right, we'll talk a little bit about Draymond when we hit the shoot around on Friday, because I got to play you the roast audio. It's just amazing from the Kevin Hart roast. But I do want to give out Big Shot of the Week to a gentleman named Peter Manfield, 73 years old, of Devon, England. And here's why. This isn't like an inspiring story as much as it is I saw this and was like, I can relate to this guy. He took out a loan against his house to buy a local pub called the Dog and Donkey. Now, I don't necessarily love the name of the pub, but it has about a century of history. It's the local pub in his neighborhood where people would meet after World War II. It's seen generations of people over the years, and he's a music teacher and a musician, and he didn't have the funds to purchase the property outright. So he remortgaged his house and invested in restoring it so that the neighborhood could still have their local pub. And sure enough, he hired a guy to run it. He said it's just a lovely old building. It was unacceptable to let it go without a fight. So I give this guy Big Shot of the Week for remortgaging his house to save a bar. Because I could understand that. Like, there's places that people are attached to, and especially if it's like a neighborhood place and they're just going to shut it down. Because I think we've all seen stuff from our youth get closed where we're like, God, man, like, why did that have to happen? And this guy wasn't going to let it happen. Remortgaged his house to save his local bar.
Salute to him.
So he gets the Big Shot of the Week.
Does he get to drink free?
I would hope so. If you remortgage your house to save the bar, drinks are on the house.
You're going to need the liquor.
You got two mortgages now.
Yeah.
You're going to need the liquor, but it's still going to be there in the morning.
Yeah.
That problem ain't going nowhere.
You're right. Well, rarely are people's problems gone when they drink the liquor. It's just to mask it for a second.
Yeah, no, it's still there. But,
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just creates bigger problems.
That is also
depending on how it goes. You're absolutely correct. All right. This week's game is going to be. This week's game is going to be about all-time playoff runs, highs and lows. We talked about OKC. We talked about Rob's 2001 Lakers, and I'm giving them your 2001 Lakers. Forget Shaq and Kobe. This was Robert Horry's team.
That's right. It was my show, my team.
12 straight wins before losing in Game 1 of the Finals. So I'm going to give you some all-time playoff runs. You just got to tell me if the real number's higher or lower. Very simple. We're going to start with the 2017 Golden State Warriors. Since we were talking about Draymond Green a minute ago, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond went 67-15 in the regular season that year. Steamrolled through the playoffs. Did they win more or less than 14 straight games in a row in the playoffs?
It's your show, big fella.
14 straight games in the postseason. Was the real number higher or lower, more or less? Rob's thinking.
He's
Lower.
thinking of.
Oh, he's
sleeping.
going lower. Yeah.
Lower.
Thought he was thinking or frozen. One of the two.
Nah, he wasn't frozen. I thought he went to sleep.
Toast off.
I was
Mid-game.
I was counting.
Okay. All right. So he says lower. Harp.
You said 14 straight?
14.
All
right, Harper.
I'm going to say lower.
Everybody's going to go lower. And everybody is dead ass wrong. 15. 15 in a row before they lost to the Cavs.
Because I thought the Cavs, I thought it was 2-1, right?
I think
or was it? Right. They went 2-1 and Cavs.
They won 15 in a row before.
They won 2, then Cavs won 1 at home, and then yeah.
Or you're thinking of the wrong year. Either one.
Yeah.
There were a couple really good Warriors runs in there. So
yeah.
All right, let's go to the 1989 LA Lakers. Magic's Showtime Lakers, coming off back-to-back titles in 87 and 88. They were rolling until the bad boy Pistons swept them and ended the dynasty in the finals. We'll start with Harp on this one since Rob went first last time. More or less than 14 games in a row. for the 89 Lakers?
I think it's less.
Okay.
Less.
Everybody says less. Everyone gets a point. Yeah, 13 in a row before they got swept by Detroit. See you.
Either because that was 5-4-4.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I mean, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. All right. The 2012 San Antonio Spurs, led by Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, on a rip until they ran into a very young OKC squad with Durant, Harden, and Westbrook, who sent them home in the semifinals. Robert Horry, did the 2012 San Antonio Spurs win more or less than 12 games in a row?
Less.
Okay, Rob says less.
Yeah, less.
All right, everybody's going to go less. Yeah, your clue was they lost in the semis, so it was 10. It was actually 10 in a row before OKC sent them home, but kicked them clean out. All right, let's go to the 2024 Boston Celtics, something a little bit more recent. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the 64-18 juggernaut, straight into the playoffs before Dallas blew them out in Game 3. Minor speed bump on the way to banner number 18 for the Celtics. Did they win more or less than 9 in a row that year in the postseason?
I know that one.
Rob, no, this is Harp. Go ahead. You get to go first.
I think it's more.
Harp's going to say more than 9. Rob, you going more as well?
More.
All right, everybody's going to go more. Just a touch over it, 10 straight before they made it to the NBA Finals. Good job. All right, what about the 2016? Got a few more of these. The 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron and Kyrie's Cavs, 57-25, reeled off a bunch of wins before stumbling in Toronto. And then, of course, we know they came back that year. That was the 3-1 comeback in the finals. Did they win, Robert Horry, more or less than 11 games in a row in that postseason?
Less.
Rob says less.
Less.
I think it's slightly less.
Harp says less. 10.
Yeah.
10 on their way to the finals. And then we all know what happened in the finals that year.
Yeah.
The 3-1 comeback. All right, Brandon Harper, the 2003 New Jersey Nets. Jason Kidd orchestrated back-to-back finals appearances for the scrappy Nets, winning a bunch of games before the Spurs and a young Tim Duncan were just too much for them in the finals. Did they win more or less than 9 in a row that year in the postseason?
More.
Okay, Harp says more. Rob, more or less than 9 in a row that year?
Less.
Rob says less. The point goes to Brandon Harper. They won 10. 10 in a row that year. Lost to the Spurs in the finals
Yeah.
that year of the New Jersey Nets. Only time I've been proud to be a New Jersey Nets supporter at any point in my life. I grew up in New Jersey.
Did the Spurs sweep them?
I don't know if they swept them.
In 03?
I know we swept them in 02.
Yes. I don't know if the Spurs did, though. I have to go look that up. That I'm not 100% sure of. We're going to go back to the 99 Spurs, speaking of the Spurs. Tim Duncan and David Robinson's Twin Towers duo. This was the shortened 50-game season. Before the Knicks, who were an 8 seed, gave them a brief scare in the finals. Robert Horry, did they win more or less than 11 in a row?
Less.
Okay. Rob says less.
You should know.
Why, 'cause
99 Spurs?
They shut the form down?
I think it was less. Yeah.
All right, everybody's going less? They won 12 in a row
Oh,
that
dang.
year. Yeah, before getting to the NBA Finals.
They didn't sweep us, did they?
In 99?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
'Cause
I mean, like, I
swept
double
us.
and triple checked all these numbers, man. These came from Basketball Reference and all kinds of stuff. So maybe we're just thinking of different seasons. I don't know. This was the 99.
No, 99, I know.
It was the strike
that was
shortened
a shortened year.
Yeah, it was the strike shortened season.
So I was like, and because that was the last time they beat us in the form in the playoffs. And I was like, he was like running like, yeah, we shut the fucking form down with a loss. So yeah.
Okay. There it is. All right, last one. Harper. The 1990 Detroit Pistons.
Bad boy.
Bad boys. Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer. Went 59-23 before the Knicks finally slowed them down. Didn't really matter. They won it all that year anyway. Did they win more or less than 13 in a row that year? Rob goes more. Rob goes more. They won 12. So no, neither of you are going to get. They won 12 in a row that year.
I thought,
Yeah, 12 in a row.
Because they was like, well, they lost one game in the playoffs that year.
Now I'm looking up the 99 Lakers Spurs series because now you got me all up in my. I'm gonna get fact checked by like 8,500 people.
You will.
No, I'm asking. I didn't know if they swept us or not. I know we got swept by Utah, but I don't think they swept us.
Yeah, they sure did.
They swept us?
They sure did.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm sure Twitter will come back and fact check me again for the 900th time on every game I get fact checked. So, they so show enough. But so we'll see. I mean, look, we got a lot of playoffs still to play, and I know it's we got to finish out these couple series. We got conference finals, so it should definitely be interesting to see how if OKC can keep that run going. Because, damn, they look like they're a powerhouse right now.
They do.
They sure do.
Take your ass in the house.
All right, that's enough.